My mother told me my father died in a fire in 1996. She showed me a death certificate, a newspaper clipping, a grave I visited every birthday. Last March, he called my cell phone. I was in a grocery store parking lot when it rang. Unknown number, Ohio area code. I almost didn't answer. The man said my name like he'd been practicing it, said he was sorry to call out of nowhere. Then he said he was my father. I asked which one. I'd had a grave with his name on it since I was 4. I sat in that lot 30 minutes before I drove home. Didn't buy a single thing. His name is Stephen Hale. He's 62 and lives in Dayton, 60 miles from where I grew up. His sister had found me on Facebook in 2022 and sent him a link to my profile. He'd been sitting with it 9 months before he called. He said my mother had told him she'd had a miscarriage, that I'd never been born. I'd visited that grave 2 weeks before his call. Left yellow flowers. She told me when I was 9 those were his favorite. I didn't tell her for 5 days. I called Stephen back twice. He sent a photo. Same jaw as mine, same way of standing. He had 2 daughters in Dayton I'd never known about. He asked if I wanted to meet them. I said I needed to handle things in order. My wife sat at the kitchen table while I showed her everything. She asked how I wanted to do this. I said I didn't know yet, but I knew where it had to start. I went through every document my mother had given me. Death certificate. From the records office, she'd always said. I called the records office directly. No fire fatality matching his name in 1996. I searched county fire records online. Nothing came back. Then I found him in a 1997 voter registration file. He'd cast a ballot in Cincinnati that November, a year after she told me he was gone. I printed it and drove to her house. She answered the door like any other Sunday, coffee already on, same apron. I sat at her kitchen table and said his name, Stephen Hale. She set the pot down very slowly. When she turned around, her face had that arrangement she used when deciding how much to give. She said she'd done what she thought was right. I asked her to explain what right had looked like in practice. She sat down without being asked. She'd been 26 when she got pregnant. Stephen was in the picture. They'd been together 2 years. When she told him she was keeping the baby, he said he wasn't ready. She waited 6 months for him to come around. He didn't. She filed the birth certificate alone and listed father unknown. Then she built the story around a fire and a grave and 31 years of birthday flowers so I wouldn't go looking. She said she'd done it to protect me. I called Stephen that night. He said he'd written to her twice in 2001 at an old address. Never heard back. He'd assumed she'd moved and cut contact. He had no idea there was a grave. He asked if I'd actually visited it. I said every year since I was 5. He went quiet. I heard something in that quiet I recognized as a man who had just understood the full shape of what had been taken. From both of us. My mother left 3 voicemails that week. I haven't called back yet. I met Stephen in October, a diner in Dayton halfway between us. He was already there, same jaw, same way of holding his coffee cup. We talked 2 hours. Before I left, he asked if I'd come back. I said yes. I drove home and thought about 31 years of yellow flowers on the wrong grave. I haven't been back to it since.